I want to talk about 1 Corinthians 1 to 3. In other words, chapter 1 to chapter 3. And there's a connection between 1 Corinthians 1 to 3 and Hebrews chapters 5 and 6, where in Hebrews Jesus basically challenges the Jewish leaders for not being priests as they should be, and he complains. He says, you are still infants, you should have been teachers by now, but you're still drinking milk. And he rebukes them, and he talks about, and he warns them about how a land that doesn't produce crop is in a danger of getting burned, and etc., etc. And in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, it starts off, and he's using those similar words of basically where he says to them, you are still infants, mere infants. I gave you milk, not solid food, because you're not ready for it, and you're still not ready. It's kind of the same thing as in Hebrews. And if you read from chapters 1, it's really about how the leaders, how the people viewed the leaders, and how the leaders postured in the people's eyes. And I can see how we do that today, how leaders posture in people's eyes. I can't believe that we are appointing leaders on a CVs. It's just, I can't believe it. And we're really looking at things like degrees and qualifications and how eloquent they are of speech, and we're looking at social behavior and just the CV in general. We're looking at those worldly qualities instead of the spiritual qualities, which are listed clearly in the selection of leaders in the scriptures. We've really deviated from that, and all our titles, pastor, priest, and reverend, and dominee, and senior dominee, and senior pastor, and it's just like, and we value those things so much, and it's like we are in 1 Corinthians, it says leaders are drawing crowds towards them, and you can see how it's pulling the church apart. And then in chapter 3, the warning comes on how we build, and what are we building on? Are we building on the right things? We are building on people and images and worldliness instead of on Christ. And I kind of put that was really amazing for me just to see this. It's profound, because Paul describes himself from 1 to chapter 3 as not eloquent in speech, as trembling, and he describes the Christians as not from good background, and he's really using, almost playing down himself as a leader, and he's a great leader. And I just think if we had those type of leaders today, we wouldn't select them, because they're not eloquent of speech. They might be spiritual, they might have great families and an example, but they're not eloquent in speech. So we can't have them. So it's really warning that when we build our church around leadership and people, that they will be tested, and we will hurt the flock in that way. We will reap results of that they cannot stand the test and fire. Christians that come to church on Sunday, but their lives are in tatters over the week, and we don't even know it because we're not shepherding, and that's kind of the wrong focus on the worldliness. And I think Israel made the same mistakes by selecting leaders the wrong way, and we can see that several times, examples of that. And specific one is how they wanted a king, and they want to compete in the world with their leadership, and their kingship costed them so badly. Israel, God gave them the kingship, and it cost them. God will allow us to take on any form of leadership and appoint leaders the way we want, but it's going to cost us so dearly if we don't do it the Bible way. This study series is about calling us back to appointing leaders the way that God intended to be, so we can save the flock, and that our work will stand the fire. So I'm excited about God. I'm excited about Jesus, and God is good for us. He's so patient with us. He's patient with me, with all my mistakes, and I'm just really excited to present this to you, and just to learn myself so much. So God bless.